Jasmine and her best friend Tom were shoveling pig feed into a bucket when Jasmine suddenly remembered something. "Guess what?" she said. "I'm going to be looking after 2 chinchillas in August." Tom's eyes lit up. "Oh, chinchillas are so cute. Whose are they?" Jasmine picked up the bucket. "They belong to one of the other vets at Mom's office," she said, as they crossed the farmyard toward the orchard. "They're called Clover and Daisy. They've got this huge cage, and that's going to go in my bedroom. I can't wait." A large mallard drake waddled across the yard toward them, flapping his wings and quacking. Jasmine laughed as he nibbled at her boots. "Don't be jealous, Button," she said, stroking his silky feathers. "You know you're the best duck in the whole world. And Clover and Daisy are only coming for 2 weeks. You're mine forever." Jasmine had rescued Button in the spring when he was just an orphaned egg on the riverbank. Button's name suited him because his perfectly round eyes looked like 2 shiny black buttons. He was a full-grown drake now, living happily with the chickens, but he still liked to follow her around the farmyard and be petted. "Are you getting paid to look after the chinchillas?" asked Tom. "I don't know. If I do, I'll need to give the money to Dad for Truffle's feed. She eats so much these days, but that's the whole point of having animals to board, isn't it? So that we have enough money to look after rescued animals." The 2 friends were planning to set up an animal rescue and boarding centre when they grew up. The idea had been inspired by Truffle, Jasmine's pet pig, who was now trotting across the orchard to greet them. She had been a tiny runt piglet on the point of death when Jasmine had smuggled her home from a neighbouring farm and nursed her back to health 8 months ago. Tom tipped the feed into Truffle's trough, and Jasmine scratched her behind the ears as she gobbled the pig nuts. "When are the chinchillas coming?" asked Tom. "Not until the middle of August, 3 weeks to go." When Tom had to go home for lunch, Jasmine walked up the driveway with him. Fluffy white clouds perched high in the bright blue sky. "The sky looks like a painting, doesn't it?" said Jasmine. "It's better than a painting," said Tom, "because it changes all the time. Like a new painting every day." In the field to the left of the driveway, Jasmine spotted her 5-year-old brother Manu and his best friend Ben crouched by a clump of hawthorn bushes. "Look what we found," called Manu. "Ugh," said Tom. "That's creepy." It was an animal's skull with big eye sockets and a complete set of teeth. "Look, it still works," said Ben. He moved the lower jaw to make the mouth open and shut. "It's a badger," said Manu. "We've got a leg bone too. We're looking for the rest of it." "I'm hungry," said Ben. "There's cookies at home," said Manu, and they ambled back toward the house. Jasmine said goodbye to Tom at the end of the driveway. As she turned to walk back home, a little sound made her stop. Frowning in concentration, she stood still and listened. The air hummed with insects. Bees buzzed in the clover, and butterflies fluttered among the dog roses and rosebay willow herb. In the next field, a kestrel hovered, waiting to pounce on its prey. I must have imagined it, she thought. She started to walk on, but then she heard it again. A tiny whimper. It seemed to be coming from the hedge. Jasmine walked back and scanned the thick hedgerow. There was no sign of an animal. She dropped to her knees and looked underneath the hedge. And then she saw something. A heap of matted black and white fur. Was it a dead animal? A badger, perhaps? The heap of fur whimpered again. Jasmine moved closer so she could see it properly. A dog, a little border collie, hardly more than a puppy by the looks of it. But it wasn't a normal, healthy puppy. It looked barely alive. Its eyes were closed and its bones jutted out beneath the dull, matted fur. "Hello," said Jasmine softly. "Hello, little dog. What are you doing under there?" The puppy whimpered again, but it didn't move. "Are you hurt?" Jasmine asked. "Are you stuck? Let me get you out of there." She reached in and gently put her arms around the little dog. She picked it up and gasped in shock. It was much lighter than she had expected. Its hip and shoulder bones stuck out from its body, and she could see every one of its ribs under the matted coat.